hello. Welcome everybody to another episode of Todo Conecta or Everything Connects in English. My name is Osvaldo, known as Os, and I'm here with a wonderful guest tonight. And I'm really excited to have you here, Manuela
Thank you.
Kupler.
Coupler. Coupler
Kupler?
works. Coupler.
Coupler.
Coupler. There you go.
Okay, I got it. I got your name. Let's go step by step then,
All
okay?
right.
So, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Real good. I'm really happy to have you today. It's really excited when I was looking for a guest because I'm trying to do some in Spanish and English podcast. And so when I was looking, like, I need someone in English, and I was like, you know what? I got the perfect person. And I'm really excited, and I'm really thankful for you to be so open to say, like, let's do it and jump into it. How you feel that back then when I reached out to you?
I was excited. I was pretty excited. I was nervous, but I'm excited.
Nervous? Why you were nervous about?
I thought I have to speak in Spanish, which would be a real bad thing because it is not good.
We're gonna make some Spanish tests
Oh
later on.
Lord. Okay.
Well, so Manuela is here with us. Is 34 years old, right?
Oh no, don't put me there. I'm 30. Just turned 30. If I look 34, we got some big problems.
30 years old, two kids.
2 kids. Yep.
Okay. And then so we met at the CrossFit
Yep. We
box.
did.
And so something that I want to share, I'm really excited, is was just because when I was start doing CrossFit, she was really welcome. That's something that I really appreciate you. And the other thing is like call my attention. And I remember when I came home, I told my wife, hey, you know what? There's someone who walk into the CrossFit every day, regardless of the weather and how loud that CrossFit could be with her kid,
Mhm.
like a newborn, right?
And when did you start? Do you remember what
Like
year?
2 years ago already.
Yeah, yeah, so Giovanna would have been she probably just born. She was
Wow.
October.
I remember I literally saw her growing, and then now I look at her as like, oh my God, look at her right
Yeah.
now. So yes. But it's like, she's walking in, there's CrossFit, there's put her, right there. She's sleeping with all that music,
Mhm.
people yelling at her. I was like, that was really excited. And I was like, she probably does not have any issue getting falling asleep at home, does she?
No. Actually, if it's too quiet, we have a problem. We actually have to play, like, sound machines or something. Can't be too quiet.
Oh
She needs
my
a loud.
goodness. So that was something caught my attention. And then after that, she's like, I realized you were pregnant again,
Mhm.
right? And so tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, well, I've been doing CrossFit for 9 years. This is year 9,
Wow.
and, I was pregnant 3 times, 2 of them successful, and throughout all 3 pregnancies, I worked out. And then right after having babies, I went right back to the gym. Um,
That's great.
yeah, it's good. It was very motivational. I didn't want to get fat.
Okay.
That was my reasoning.
Okay.
I didn't want to make being pregnant an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to say, "Oh, I'm not going to go today. I'm pregnant." Nope. I actually PR'd a few times pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I went more pregnant than I did not pregnant to the gym.
Wow. But let's take this story a little bit more back
Yeah, let's
into
go.
time. 9 years ago. Why CrossFit? How did all this journey start for you?
So I started at the same gym that I'm at now.
Wow.
My one of my good high school friends was at the gym and said, "Hey, you got to try it out." It was probably 3 years after high school,
Okay.
and I was just going to like the Livonia Rec Center and just doing some workout, but not really getting a good workout in.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Come do it. It's a free class. You just do like a warm up, and you just do a one-on-one with the coach." I said, "Okay, sure, I'll try it out. I'm pretty athletic." Did just the warm up with Coach Dennis, went outside, puked my brains out, just to warm up. I think it was like inchworms, sit-ups, and rowing.
And
And
done.
I got so sick. I was not as fit as I thought. And then I left. I didn't go back for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. So what I do is I'd watch their Facebook and all the videos they'd post.
Mhm.
And I go back to the rec center and I'd practice there first. And then when
Oh,
I felt a little more comfortable, I
kind of
went back.
cheating.
Yeah, I cheated, and then I acted like I never worked out, but no, I totally watched their social media page and then
Mhm.
kinda did what I could, and I went back.
Good. And so when you started, you feel like way more comfortable doing it, and how did progress during the time when you were doing CrossFit?
I got obsessed with it. I couldn't stop. I really liked it. I liked how I felt. I liked how I looked.
Mhm.
I started doing things I didn't think I could do, like the Tough Mudder. Did that. My husband and I, we started. What do we do? We signed up for the 10K. Had no idea what 10K meant, so we're like, "Yeah, we can do that." Never ran in our life. I was going to CrossFit at the time. He wasn't. We died doing it. We were in the whole time, but we died. And yeah, I got really obsessed with working out, and I like that,
Nice.
and I'm still obsessed.
It's still, yeah, because something that, when you start working out and when you really fall in love with what you're doing. And then that's something that I really, find out when I was doing CrossFit because I've been to the gym many times and doing a lot of stuff, but I feel like that hour that you get into that box is just fully disconnect for
Yeah.
whatever. Whatever you might have going on, you just focus on that and get it done. So I'm agree with you on that one. But tell me what happened when you find out you're pregnant. Did you say like, okay, now how do I will balance this journey of being fit, working out? Did you right away jump in like, oh yeah, I will do it, or just do you have some thoughts about it?
Um, Thankfully, there were people before me that worked out at the gym and were pregnant.
Oh.
They didn't go as hard or as long as I think I did. I mean, I could be totally wrong because I didn't really pay attention to their journeys.
Hmm.
Um, but it was something we were trying to do anyway, so it wasn't a surprise to get pregnant. Um, but once we were, I just made sure with my OB, I just said, "Hey, I'm pregnant. I'm not going to stop going to the gym." And she thankfully was totally for it and said, "All right, go for it. Just listen to your body."
Uh-huh.
Because when it comes to medical and stuff like that, I'm very holistic, so I don't like taking any medications or doing things like that. So I'm very in tune with my body, I think.
Okay.
So we were doing I did everything. I did handstand walks up to I think hand 8 months, 9 months pregnant. I was still doing handstand walks or handstands. I was deadlifting, doing all the weights. I didn't change. We just scaled when needed. So when I got
Okay.
to I think 5 months pregnant, instead of doing burpees from the floor, which I still sometimes did, I would do them off a box or something. I wouldn't belly slam down.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, I really didn't change what I was doing. I think went harder.
Okay. And you just said something was listen to your body. Like,
Mhm.
how do you do that?
Oh, when you're pregnant, you your body releases, I think it's called relaxatonin.
Hmm.
So your muscles are more prone to stretching or tearing. So when we do things like Toda bars, after
Hmm.
a while, when I couldn't get myself up, you would get round ligament pain. So it was like
Oh, okay.
it almost feels like a cramp under your belly.
Okay.
So if I do a few and I'm like, oh, that's gonna hurt later, I would either cut back and instead of doing 15, I'd do 5, 10, or I would switch it up to do knees to chest or something a little different.
Okay. What would you think was the biggest mental and kind of lifestyle benefits or for keeping you doing the whole time? Like, do you feel like any benefits at all? You feel like it was really good to do so, or have you talked to any other, friends or something like being pregnant that maybe
Mhm.
not doing that type of exercise?
Yeah, I was the only friend in the group working out like that for sure. I still am not pregnant, the only friend in the group that does it like that. Let me see. I guess when it came to working out pregnant, you have so much more blood flow in your body
Mhm.
that I had more energy, even with a
Okay.
toddler. Even before I had Giovanna, so I have Giovanna and I have Kevin. She's 2 and he just turned 5 months old. When I was pregnant with Giovanna, I didn't know what to expect with having 2, so I think not as much as I did with Kevin, but with her I worked out enough to where you'd get so much blood flow, you'd have a lot of energy.
Uh-huh.
Um And with Giovanna, I didn't really get a stomach. I don't know if you remember seeing me. I didn't have a big pregnant
No,
belly.
that's
You
true.
couldn't tell,
Yeah, that's
which was
true.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, but with that, I would get a lot of hate from people, or a lot of people would ask if I had a miscarriage, or, asking if it was safe if I was pregnant
Mhm.
and working out because I didn't show. So that was
Mhm.
kind of hard. But back to your original question, I definitely had a lot more energy.
Energy
Yeah.
wise, that's where you
More
feel like the
oxygen,
most.
more blood flow, more let's break stuff and do stuff. More hormones.
More hormones. Yeah, definitely. So, and speaking of, did you face any judgments with this? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had family who hated that I was doing it.
how do you
Uh
handle that?
you just let them hate you, or not hate, but you just let them say all the things they want to say
Mhm.
and tell you you shouldn't be doing this, or it's going to harm the baby. I wouldn't do anything that would put my kids at harm or myself.
Mhm.
So I let them say what they wanted to say, and then I let myself do what I needed to do. So that was working out. And days that I didn't work out, or if I would go more than 3 days, I was miserable. I hated it.
Okay.
I'd get lazy. I'd eat too much, and I hated how I felt. So I'd go back to the gym.
Oh my god. So, when you had Giovanna,
Yeah.
for how long you work out? The 9 months or?
Oh yeah, I worked out till the day before I went into labor. So with both kids, I was induced. So I didn't get that natural. My water never broke.
Mhm.
And I think they said that's because I worked out so much that my core and um my area down there was
Mhm.
so tight and
Oh,
strong that
okay.
my body would refuse to break my water. So the last 2 weeks that I was working out with my daughter pregnant, I was dilated at 2.5, 3 centimeters. So I was in labor doing handstands and running and working out. And I just could not get her to get out. I mean, I did jet skiing in the summertime, like jumping waves real hard, trying to
Oh my
do whatever
goodness.
I could. And same with Kevin. They call it, you're in labor and then you're in active labor. And after
Uh-huh.
active labor is when you're pushing, but
Mhm.
like other labor, you're just dilated. So
Mhm.
at any time they can make their appearance, but not my kids. They were comfortable up there for 2.5 weeks.
Wow. So you literally just work out one day and the next day they're born, literally.
Yep, and then I think with Kevin, I was 5 days later, he was at the gym on the floor sleeping while we were doing deadlifts. I'm pretty sure it was either 5 or 6 days later. Yep.
So that means, okay, let's take that back. 5 days after
Yep,
you took him to the gym
and my
and
daughter.
you were working out that 5 days after
Yeah,
you were in labor.
yep, I think I have a video of it. He was sleeping on a little pillow on the floor, dead asleep while we were all deadlifting because I remember it being loud.
Oh my goodness. How this is something pretty, interesting when it comes about, I think the experience. Like Giovanna right now, she's 2 years old and I can see her running around. She loves to be there,
Oh, yeah, she
right?
does. She grew
So
up there. I mean, that's home number 2 for her.
it is, right? And I can
Mhm.
see everybody just, hugging her. She loves everybody.
Yeah.
She's with everybody. How do you feel that kind of is the positive impact to your kids having that type of environment?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm very thankful that we belong to a gym that we can bring our kids, because I know a lot of people ask, "What do you do with the kids?" I say, "I take them with me. They
Hmm.
go where I go." I mean, their life revolves around what we do, and they
Hmm.
adapt to us because I think that's how it should be. And, once they get a little older, we'll do that, but I want both my kids to grow up seeing that mom works out and mom is strong and mom I she doesn't make excuses, and we work out, and thankfully we work out in a community that is family based.
It is, yeah.
So I know, and I know sometimes she might cry and I'm working out, but I know there's somebody there. I don't expect it, but someone will take care of
Yeah,
her
that's
or
true.
love on her. And
Yeah.
it just feels like she has a million aunts. Like I can't wait for the day she's older and she's like, "How are we related to all these people?" I'm like, "Well, we're not. They're your gym family." But even going to the gym, like, motivationally, having that community, I think is a huge impact.
Yeah.
So, thank you everybody there.
Yeah. Did you take pictures during that process that you can after show the her or him like, hey, this is mom working out while I was like 6 months
Oh,
pregnant,
yeah.
stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that?
I think I have even a video on my Instagram where I don't know, 6 months pregnant doing walks, handstand walks. It's, like, my favorite thing to do. I'm terrible at them, but I love talking about doing handstand walks. Like, in my mind, I am a pro, but I'm not. But no, I have a lot of videos and updates. Like, I remember doing, a monthly countdown. I would do the same pose in the gym mirror,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I like that stuff.
Okay. That's pretty cool. And then there's how about, when it comes to food, like supplements, like is there something that you can recommend that is something normal or did something different?
Oh, so all the women out there who think they're gonna get bulked up, I always have 5 grams of protein, creatine every morning,
Okay.
pregnant and non-pregnant. Even I breastfeed, so even during breastfeeding, I take creatine. You have to drink a lot of water, or else you will bloat like you are pregnant again.
Mhm.
But there is so much in creatine that helps that I can't stop talking about. I mean, it is great for brain development. It's amazing for baby development. Their brain, their organs, everything. It links back to so much stuff. And before I took all this stuff, I made sure to talk to my OB, and I actually talked to Dennis about it, Coach Dennis, and asked what his thoughts were. And I have some other friends in um, that work with other pregnant moms who do CrossFit and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and they recommend that. I took a lot of protein shakes. There's a Thorn brand that I really like. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Thorn brand. And then I take mushrooms, not drug mushrooms, but like um, Irish tail, reishi. It's like a blend of mushrooms that I
Uh-huh.
put in my coffee every morning.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's so and then when you actually, taking all these things and then doing the workouts, is there was any time during the whole 9 months you feel like I cannot do this anymore? Or do you feel like it's okay to continue doing this in this way? Is it were any type of regret during the whole time or no?
Nah, no, I had no excuses. No excuses. I feel like when I was pregnant versus seeing other people pregnant, they would have cravings, like wake up
Mhm.
2 a.m. like I have to have a milkshake right now. I never
Mhm.
had that. I think that and not working out is an excuse for working out or
Mhm.
for being lazy. I mean, not that being pregnant means you can or can't be lazy because
Mhm.
it is a lot of work. Your body goes through a lot, but I think eating healthy and working out, you just have to do it. And if you
Mhm.
don't, it's an excuse. And I think I don't even think I answered your question right. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that's no, but it goes around the same thing, which is about like, working out and the way that you feel also, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah. Back to
everybody's
regrets.
different,
Yeah.
right? And so the fact that you did pretty well on that, right? And
Hmm.
there could be a lot of, women out there that is like, am I thinking about doing it? I don't know how I gonna feel like. So did you feel like you could do this just because how much of a journey you have, or you feel like it was just about like, is my decision to do so and just go with it, or do you feel like if you have the background is the best way to do it?
I think it was a little mix of both because if I wasn't doing CrossFit, I'd like to believe I would be running or walking every day or doing something
Okay.
active. Because with Giovanna, I didn't do it with Kevin. On top of doing CrossFit on Thursday nights at 10 p.m., I was in indoor soccer until I was
Soccer.
7 months. And I had to stop, not because I want to, but because the people were so rough because you play co-ed and
Uh-huh.
they would just body check you down like we were playing hockey.
Uh-huh.
And I tell them like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." And then they say, "Well, don't play soccer then." And I was like, "Oh, no, no, no." So I would make sure I hip check them back and throw them into the wall. And the ref would laugh or whatnot. I mean, I got kicked out of a game for being mean, but they started it.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I don't think, back to your first question, I have any regrets. Maybe could have worked out more, but I think it was okay. I
It
did all
was
right.
fine. So, what would be the message for some, women out there that have been thinking about, doing this type of maybe strength training or while pregnancy? What do you think it would be the message for them?
Do it. Um, I wouldn't say start something brand new.
Okay.
I'd say do something you are used to. So if that's going on long walks, do it. If that's riding a bike, do it. I mean, I know they tell you when you're pregnant, don't don't start things new, don't lift things more than 20 pounds. If it's something, I guess, like if you do maybe intro to CrossFit and
Hmm.
you're learning how to use a barbell, go for it. But don't be taking a barbell with 300 pounds and trying to deadlift it for the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's something you're used to or you're going to do an introduction to, go for it.
Okay.
Because I think they say don't lift more than 20 pounds. And I was deadlifting over 300 pounds pregnant. And it was fine. I was a little sore, but it was fine.
Just the sore part of it, and
Yeah, just
then
sore.
you're good.
But I do know, before I forget, when you are pregnant, there is a thing called um, diastasis,
Hmm.
which your abs can actually separate. And there's a lady at the gym who used to work out there, and that happened to her. And after you give birth, I mean, it can happen at any time, not to scare anybody, but it can happen at any time. You can
Hmm.
have it during labor, you can have it getting out of bed wrong, but the muscles just spread apart. And what happens is after labor, delivery, all that, they have to go in and almost do like a tummy tuck and try
Oh,
to
okay.
restructure.
Gotcha.
And you have to, I don't think you can gain that muscle back. There's just always some separation there. Um, but as long as you listen to your body and if you feel that pulling or tugging, then you just don't go as hard or don't do that certain thing.
Okay. That's good. That's a good message. Appreciate it.
Yes. I think her or Lisa Ryan is her name. She has a YouTube account or a Netflix account. No, not Netflix. Good Lord. Instagram.
Instagram.
Instagram. I'm very bad with social media. Instagram. Name's Lisa Ryan.
So I think it is kind of a really nice message right now with all this, CrossFit journey that you have been in through for 9 years already.
Hmm.
And then two kids and just keep going. Now I know like your husband also joined your journey
Yep,
with you,
he's
right?
back. He is back.
Nice. How
Yeah.
that make you feel? Like all the family now at the box.
It's exciting. I mean, I go definitely to, like, de-stress, and we've made a pact to, like, "Hey, I'll go in the mornings now, you go in the afternoons or whatever, and that's your time to de-stress. Leave all your problems outside the door, go work out, come home, we'll have a nice good dinner, and then we'll do it all over again." I mean,
Hmm.
I'm excited. He
That's good.
used to go a lot,
Okay.
and then he did the indoor soccer with me pregnant, and he tore his Achilles,
Oh,
and then he was out. So that's what happened. So
got
it's technically my fault.
it.
But
You're pushing him through
but now he's
it.
back. I told him, "Time's up. Let's go. We're going back as a family."
That's good. That's pretty good. So I know like this sport journey, but a little bit of your personal journey, right? I know you've been through, your pregnancy, and then you have Cubana first, and then you got pregnant again, and
Yes.
that sadly, didn't work
Yes.
out. So what happened then when you feel like, all this stuff going through your mind, and what make you think about like, let's keep this going, and what's the message as well to kind of keep the momentum going?
Yeah. So I don't know, whoever is out there listening, miscarriages suck. They suck. I was 6.5 weeks. And to me, a miscarriage or a pregnancy is a pregnancy. It doesn't matter how long you've been pregnant.
Mhm.
You were still pregnant. You still created,
100%.
I believe, a human.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, it was, let's see, I knew for like 2 or 3 weeks. I told my husband right before Christmas. I was gonna tell him on Christmas Day, but I decided I couldn't wait. I was too excited. And then 2 days later was Christmas and I had the miscarriage and you just know. You know what's happening. And that was hard. Um, and I think I relied on the gym a lot. I put all of my negative energy into working out. And it didn't happen because of working out. It didn't happen um because of anything in particular that I caused.
It
It
just happened
happened.
because that's life. Yeah.
It's life. It happens. My husband and I believe that it God had a different plan for us, that
Mhm.
maybe there was something wrong that we could not foresee help, taking care of, so he took
Yeah.
it away before it. I mean, I don't know the sex, but I always think it was a boy too, so I named him Edmund. So
Mm.
I always refer to my Edmund as my angel baby. So we were dealing with that. I went in 2 weeks after to get my confirmation that you
Mhm.
had a miscarriage, and then I found out I was pregnant again. So
How long after, like, was that?
It was like 2 weeks after I knew I was having the miscarriage, and then when I
Wow.
went in for they do blood work to make sure your levels,
Mhm.
your, HCG levels are either rising or falling. Mine were falling. When they confirmed, "Hey, yes, you've had a miscarriage," they also said, "But you're pregnant again." So you're like, "What?" So then I came home to my husband, and it's so hard because
I know.
you're so sad that you just lost a child, but then all of a sudden you're like,
It's a
"Oh my god, I'm
mix of
pregnant again."
emotions.
I don't know what to do. So you don't know if maybe I had it happens to where sometimes you're pregnant and you get pregnant again.
Mhm.
And not that they're twins, but like something happens and then
Yeah.
one may
Steak and the other
or whatever.
yeah.
Um so yeah, so it was very hard and then it was very scary because you don't know if you're going to have another miscarriage. You don't
Did
know
they
if
ever
it's
find out something, or they were not
no,
able to tell you what
no,
exactly
they
happened?
don't know. So that's what they think. They think that maybe I could have been pregnant, you know, back to back and something
Wow.
happened and that's just life.
Wow.
That is life. So it was very scary with Kevin um because I didn't know if I'd have a miscarriage, but I wasn't going to stop living life or doing the things I needed to do mentally and physically.
Mhm.
Um it was one of those things where I'm like, well, it's either going to stick again or it's not.
Mhm.
So we just kept doing what we were doing and that was working out. And
Yeah.
he's here now.
Yeah, I bet. And I think it was a to your point, it was a lot of mix of emotions,
Oh
right? And like, something happened and then all of a sudden you don't know how to,
yeah. It
get
was
into.
very wild. And then you have these hormones on top of it that are just you get super depressed, but you're also like, I can't like I can't let myself be that way.
Mhm.
But you can't also help it because your mind is just so mean.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, we stuck it out. I just kept trying to look forward, and that's where the gym made a huge difference because everyone can be there for you and say something. And not that it helps, but other people who have miscarriages know what you're going through, but it's still your own body. So only you know how to help yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and mine was going to the gym and just picking up heavy things, throwing it down, and doing it again.
Okay. So I feel like this is kind of your, exit way through a lot of the things that was going on, plus you enjoy it,
Oh
and
yeah,
then it's
it's my
like
therapy for
it's
sure.
therapy.
Yep, it's my
Definitely.
therapy.
Okay.
So, and the community there, there's certain people where I have a bad day, I'll go right to them and tell them, and they get to hear all of it. So I have therapists inside the therapy gym,
I know,
whether
yeah.
they want to hear it or not. Thanks for always being there.
Yeah. Because I think is that's something that I, usually in me myself, like for example, now that I'm training for a lot of different stuff, I told Dennis at some point like, "Hey, I gotta stop. I cannot keep up with all this stuff." I was like,
Yeah.
but I was felt so bad because I really love to be there. Like the
Mhm.
family part of it was
It's
like,
the best.
I don't want to miss this part of it because if we would be just go to the gym and just walk out every single day, it's like that's fine. I can do without it. But I was like, no, I want to continue seeing these people, having this relation with everybody. I was like, okay, let's do 2 times now instead of the three. And I
I'm
like,
wondering where you've been lately.
I know, right?
I'm gonna call them out right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying. I'm still going like at least, a couple days a
Yeah, you
week.
have to. Weightlifting, apart from cardio, is so
Yes,
important.
it is. Yeah, it
Mentally,
is.
physically, all of it.
Yeah, it is. And it's the therapy, to be honest. It is
Yeah, it
something
is.
like if you go to, the gym, or everybody does a lot of different stuff, but for me it's been just, get there, put yourself on down there. You don't have time for anything, just to focus on whatever you're doing, even up until the end you're about to die.
Going to the gym feeling like you're gonna die after workout means you did such a good job.
Yeah, but then you feel proud about it. So look at the
Yeah.
numbers. It's like, whoo, I don't know how I get this done.
I feel less guilty after that eating a big steak than I do not working out. I mean, still good for you, but then I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's really good though. So with all this stuff going on and then after that, do you feel like, at any point, what are your plans CrossFit wise? Do you think there's competitions? You've been some competitions
Oh yeah,
already?
I've done all the opens.
Okay.
And then I've done outside of our box gym, I've done pregnant. I did the rookie rumble last year. I was, I don't know, 4 months pregnant. And that was a long day. There was, I think, 4 or 5 different workouts, and you're there from 6 a.m. to almost 7 p.m. and like crawling out of there because you're exhausted from all the workouts.
Wow.
It's like a open workout
Uh-huh.
3 or 4 times in one day is the best way
Wow.
to describe it. Yeah. I've done that. I've done a bunch of other ones. Now, like I want to get into running next,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't run. So I'm gonna come to you soon about running.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go for it.
But yeah, no, I like the competitions. Those are fun.
Okay. So, last not least is like I just wanna, again, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this talk, and I think it's hopefully everybody really enjoy it. I'm really excited to have her here. I really admire you so much, in the way
Thanks,
like,
Aw.
yeah, it's really cool to see how you embrace everything that you love to do plus the ones you love, right?
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see you walking in with your kids and
My 100 bags
the
and the
100
high
bags, the
chair and
high
the toys and the tablet and the chargers. Yep.
It's funny because you do like a different setup. Everybody go put all the weights, the boxes, and Manuela is doing like, okay, here's this, here's the high chair, here's the bag, here's like
Oh yeah.
you have all this set up, like you're good to go.
Now I've got Kevin in a jumper hanging from the pull-up bar.
I haven't
So,
seen that.
oh yeah, no, you'll see it now because he likes to jump now. So I put a pack and play inside the rig where the rings are, so Giovanna can practice her pull-ups and push-ups. It's all that stuff. And then I have Kevin next to her because they can't be in the same spot or else they're gonna beat each other up. And I have Kevin hanging from the pull-up bar, jumping up and down.
Oh my goodness.
That way, by the time we get home, everyone's sleeping.
I bet. I think it's a good therapy for them as well.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
definitely see like you're such an inspiration for them,
Thanks,
and
Bob.
then I think it's when they both gonna grow up is like, oh my god, I can't believe all the what my mom went through, and then seeing you continue working out,
Yeah,
it is such a great motivation, inspiration, such a role
thanks.
model as a mom. So really good
She's in
for you.
CrossFit too now. She's in her own little kids CrossFit. So
Oh,
cute.
that's pretty cool. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Any last message thought for today?
Work out. Don't stop working out. You can do it. And if you're pregnant or thinking about being pregnant, it is beautiful. It's the best. Um, no hate on it. I just think that you should love yourself. I'm very bad. I'm very hypocritical for saying this because I didn't like being pregnant. I love the journey of it. I loved having a baby. Um, but make sure you take the pictures, take the progress photos, enjoy every second of it because once you're done, like I'm done, you're done. And it kind of hits you like, man, maybe I should have taken one extra photo or done something else. So enjoy it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So for me, pregnancy is not a reason to stop. It's a reason to become stronger. That's the message
I
for
like it.
it. So thank you everybody for being here with us tonight. I really appreciate it. So if you really like this, comments below, subscribe to the channel, and also you can listen us on Spotify and YouTube as well as us podcasts, Everything Connects or Todo Conecta. So you'll find the link below as well. So thank you so much for everybody being here tonight. And thank you again for being my guest tonight.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Adios.
Oh, that's true.
Oh
Never.
no.
You remind me something. Now, before we go, let's practice Spanish.
Okay, listen, habla español porque un poquito. El estudio hablar italiano porque still un poquito.
¿Cómo se llama?
Manuela,
¿Cuántos años tiene?
50, 30, 5, 1, 2, It's 12, it's cinquante, right? 30?
30.
Trenta. See, I think that's Italian. I'm
Ajá.
mixing it.
Ajá. 30.
Okay, let's go. What else do you have
Um,
for me?
what else? Um,
I know, ¿qué tiempo hace hoy? Right? What's the temperature outside?
ajá.
I was a preschool Spanish teacher and I only knew a little bit. So I don't know how they let me do that.
Say, ¿cómo está?
¿Cómo estás bien? ¿Y tú?
Muy bien.
Muy bien.
Say, everybody, hasta luego.
Hasta luego.